graveyard.com. History are acts, ideas, or events that will or can shape the course of the future. August 16, 1977, we lost a legend. The king of rock himself, Elvis Presley, due to heart failure. What caused this heart failure, some might ask? Drug overdose. June 25th, 2009, we revisit the graveyard to commemorate the king of pop, Michael Jackson, in which has fallen from the same symptoms as Elvis. What is the point of history if we are not to learn from our mistakes? Lawmakers need to take greater action when dealing with doctors, clients, and the prescribing of medications. There should be more severe consequences for doctors who choose to make deals underneath the table. There should be a middleman system when dealing with such cases as well. It should be a doctor, their client, and observer who oversees and ensures that the client is neither over-medicated nor handed something that is not a necessity for their health. In violation, doctors should lose their medical license and in some cases possibly receive some jail time. We need to come together on this and make a difference. Let's not let our past dictate and shape the course of our future in a negative light.
My research topic was on Michael Jackson. Since his musician died, I have revisited his molestation case, his first trial in 1993, of Jordan Chandler, a young 13-year-old. And in this case, my thesis is that in analysis of his first case, he was never really had any evidence to be proved as guilty. In the time, really, in my opinion, that he was a victim of extortion just to get money from what he does, because he did hang out with a lot of kids back then, but he was never proved to actually do anything with them, just hang out and stuff. And so he's been, in that case, it never went to trial, as Michael Jackson did pay the family $20 million. It was all because of his dad, who used his scheme to take his son and tell his son to lie for him in exchange to ruin Michael Jackson's career and in a way take a whole bunch of money out of him. He was never proved guilty, but there was no really any solid evidence to prove that he did molest Jordan Chandler, and it wasn't until recently that after his death that he did. The little boy did confess that he's now like 26 years old, but he did confess that he lied for his dad to get money.
My topic was on green technology, and what it is, it's a continuous evolving group of methods and materials and techniques for generating energy and non-toxic cleaning products. Presenting this technology will bring forth innovations and changes in our daily life to help change the ecosystem. So about helping the ecosystem restore and not contribute to greenhouse gases that go into our atmosphere and promote the polar ice caps. And that picture right there is the Inconvenient Truth. That's a film by Al Gore. And since seeing that, 62 to 77% of Americans changed to green technology. What the government's doing about it, they're using tactics such as sustainability, which means our needs our society without damaging natural resources. It's called Cradle to Cradle, creating manufactured products that can be used or reclaimed, like recycled. Source reduction, reducing waste and pollution by changing patterns of production and consumption. Innovation, developing alternative technologies that quit using fossil fuels or chemical agriculture, which damages the environment. And then what we plan to do in the future is, well, they have this out right now, and it's a hydrogen fuel cell car, and the way it works is that oxygen and hydrogen flowing from the top to the bottom. They flow from the top to the bottom in the fuel cell, only using gravity, and with the discharge of electricity, energy forms and purified water comes out of the tailpipe as a result.
I did my report on immigration, on whether companies should or should not be fined for hiring illegal immigrants. One of the most controversial political issues of today is that of illegal immigrants. In an effort to reduce the amount of people who enter the United States illegally, the U.S. government has begun to crack down on employers who hire illegal immigrants. Companies are being fined $200 to $375. The maximum penalty is $2,200 to $3,200, and the maximum penalty for multiple violations will increase from $11,000 to $16,000. Are illegal aliens really taking jobs away from U.S. citizens? Are illegal aliens sucking the government dry on welfare benefits? We all know the answer to that, but we use it as an excuse to blame the illegals for everything because it's easier than addressing the real issue, which is weak governmental control and lack of enforcing the laws that are already in place. There are many jobs available, but U.S. citizens refuse to accept them because they feel these jobs are degrading. A well-educated person who just lost his or her job would rather go without than to accept a job as a factory worker, gardener, or picking fruit from a tree. You can't accuse someone of stealing someone else's job that the person didn't want in the first place. Of course, citizens should be given priority over those who are not, but businesses and companies should not have to run the risk of losing their business because they hired someone who was willing to do the work at the wages offered. Businesses cannot afford to wait around until a U.S. citizen comes around asking for a job. The government needs to take stricter measures with border control. If they continue to harass employers, just about every company will go bankrupt, and how is this
On religious beliefs as far as the death penalty, and in most cases a lot of the religious beliefs such as Catholics, Christians, and pretty much non-denominational churches believe that thou shalt not kill. So what gives any other person, as far as any human being, the ability to administer a death to somebody else is wrong. For me, I personally would probably not prefer the death penalty. I don't even feel that it's a good punishment. I feel that if they did something that bad, they should sit in the cell and and deal with their issues as far as being constrained in this little box as far as the jail cell. But for the most part, it's basically on whether you agree or disagree about it, and it's all a personal opinion about it. But from my opinion, I feel that death penalty is not in.
is helping our economy today?
Mine was basically about having sex education in schools, and basically there are a number of teenage pregnancies increasing due to kids like ourselves not practicing safe sex. And by the 18th birthday of most people, 6 out of 10 women and more than 5 out of 10 teenage men have sexual intercourse. And since more and more teens are having intercourse, but their use of contraceptives is inconsistent, parents and schools need to try to work together to educate teens about sexual intercourse. And sex education needs to include talking about abstinence and safe sex, and it should be taught in schools because some parents are uncomfortable or afraid to talk to their children about sex.